This is the Ninja 400 Mark II, an update to the original 150 watt light from Viltrox. And today we'll see if this bicolor LED light is worth picking up and how it compares to the first version. So what's new on the Ninja 400 Mark II? The Ninja 400 now includes more lighting effects, includes a new clamp for you to attach the controller to on a light stand, has a larger release pin making it easier to attach modifiers, a shorter color temperature range which should allow for better brightness and color accuracy. And at the time of this video, it cost $399, which is just $30 more than the original. When you first get the light, it comes in a nice soft padded carrying case identical to the first version. Inside you'll find the light itself, a reflector, the controller and clamp for the controller, a power cable, and a remote. Taking a closer look at the Ninja 400 Mark II's build, it has a new fresh redesign that is similar to the first version. But now it features a larger release pin, which I find easier to attach modifiers quickly. And on the side of the unit is a knob used for tightening down the light, which it works fine, but I much prefer the clamp on the original version. The controller functions pretty similar to the first version as well. It has the same V-mount battery on the back, so you can power this light with a battery. And the new controller clamp is great as it makes it really easy to move around and almost acts as a weight for the stand. The Ninja 400 Mark II claims to be both brighter and more color accurate, and while there's not too much information to prove how much of a difference this makes, as this still is a 150 watt light, I decided I'd do my own test by measuring the output of the light 6 feet away. I started out by testing the brightness of each light by using the reflector that came with each light, but I also tested it without the reflector, as you'll see why later in this video. So here are the results. At 2800 Kelvin, we get an F11 on the original Ninja 400, and on the 400 Mark II, we get an F20. Again, at 3200 Kelvin, F11 on the original, and F20 at 3200. Now these warmer color temperatures usually are dimmer, so when we switch over to 5600 Kelvin, we get about a stop brighter, giving us an F14 on the original, and about an F25 on the Mark II. So there appears to be quite a massive difference between the outputs of the light in this test. What I didn't realize at first is that this new version on the Ninja 400 Mark II has a slightly different reflector design. And you can just see the difference between the two. The new reflector can focus a light in a much narrower beam of light, consequently making it appear brighter. Compared to the old reflector, the fall-off appears more even and spread out, and it doesn't give you that punchy center. To see how much of a difference this reflector was making, I redid the test, this time without the reflector. And as we see here, the results are much more comparable. On the original Ninja 400, we get an F8 at 2800 Kelvin, the same thing with the Ninja 400 Mark II. At 3200 Kelvin, each light gets a little brighter, giving us an F9. At 5600 Kelvin, we do see a slight difference. I got an F10 on the original and F11 on the new version. And at 6800 Kelvin, both lights give me exposure reading of F11. So in reality, the Ninja 400 Mark II is only 1/3 stop brighter than the original version, which makes sense because they're both 150 watt lights. And the main contributing factor in brightness during that first test is due to that new reflector design, which basically gives you 2.5 stops brighter output, compared to the old reflector, which only gives me about 1 more stop of brightness. Moving on to the important color quality test. First, taking a look at the Ninja 400 Mark II, the colors are quite good at 5600 Kelvin, and all the colors seem to be pretty much aligned with the vector scopes. In comparison to the original, it's still quite good, however, we do see a little bit more magenta. And at 6800 Kelvin, both lights are still really good. When we go to the warmer color temperatures such as 3200 Kelvin, this is where the original Ninja 400 fell apart. There's quite a bit magenta in those skin tones, which I'm not the biggest fan of. On the Ninja 400 Mark II, this seems to be much more improved, seems more true to life. However, it feels much more yellow, especially in those skin tones. Dropping down to 2800 Kelvin, both lights are not looking great. On the original version, there is still much more magenta and overall cooler colors. And on the Mark II, it really begins to fall apart. The reds start to veer in with the skin tones and just become much too yellow. Overall, the Ninja 400 Mark II is an improvement. I would say to avoid 2800 Kelvin if you can, and just use the color temperatures from 3200 and above if you really need color accuracy. Next up is fan noise. Now this is one thing I was really impressed with the original version, as it was virtually silent, which is awesome for a little light like this. Unfortunately, this light does have a bit of fan noise, and while it's not much louder, there is like this strange clicking noise. Let's have a listen. This light features a silent mode, which I didn't really bother testing because it lowers the maximum output to 50%. And even when I had it on the silent mode, I could still hear that weird clicking noise. Despite that, I don't think the fan noise will be too big of an issue for most filmmakers. The Ninja 400 Mark II is a great light, especially at this price point. Now, it made some improvements upon the original, but there are a few things that I just don't care for. First off is the effects modes. I mean, I'm glad they're built in, but to me, I don't find them too useful. On the controller, there's no clear indication of which effect mode you are in. So I guess they just expect me to memorize what each effect does. So with that little hiccup in the way, I just don't really care to use the effects modes. I do wish the color quality was slightly better on those warmer color temperatures, because I feel like 2800 Kelvin is not something I'm going to use. However, if they could find ways to subtly fine-tune those colors, that would be great. So who is the Ninja 400 Mark II for? Well, much like the original, I still recommend it for interviews, commercials, narrative, anytime you feel like you would need the versatility of bicolor and also want to take this on the go. That travel bag makes it really convenient to take on the go, plus the battery option, makes it even more portable. So that's going to wrap up my review. If you want to check out the Ninja 400 Mark II, I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description down below for you to check out the current pricing. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.